Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find her image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind.
When you're doing a layer, what degree are you going to be at?
90.
90 or above. Very good. For this exercise, we're just going to be straight at 90. So this is going to be a super easy layer to kind of learn. So you're going to take it, instead of rounding or following the curve of the head like we did with our round layer, you're just going to take it straight up to the ceiling. Okay. We're going to start with kind of like a runway section. So you're going to take a vertical section off of her part line on both sides. We're just going to even out what you already cut. So use your round layer guide as just to start your guide. So instead of how we round it out like this way, just use that same guide and straighten it out all the way. So now your guide is going to be here. And then you're just going to even this out. Okay? Oh my gosh, I dropped my shears for later. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh, when you're doing layers, what hand position are you typically in?
Overhand or something?
Overhand.
Okay.
Yep, so you want to be able to see the back of your hand when you're doing this haircut. I'm going to start my guide. Once I've started my guide, I'm going to continue taking vertical sections until I get to the bottom of the head. So again, my layer or my guide is right behind me. Here. It'll be next to me and also behind me. Anytime you're going to recomb, you don't have to worry about picking this hair up with you. You're just going to recomb and reposition your fingers so that everything is in front of your second knuckle. If you don't know where your second knuckle is, it's this one. Okay. Recomb, reposition. Comb. You're going to move until you can see your guide. I feel like I see a lot of you comb and then you pull out your comb right away and now you don't know where your guide is. You have to follow all the way through until you can see your guide so you get a nice clean cut. Once you can see your guide, you want to pull your fingers up to your guide and then cut directly on. Your still blade is going to help protect you. Once you've cut your second section, you're going to split this in half because you don't want to start carrying all this hair with you. It's just going to be a little bit pointless, and then you're going to start cutting into your guide. So you're going to keep taking vertical sections up until you reach the bottom of the ear here on both panels. Okay?
So like, when we get down here, we still pull up?
Right. All of this is going to be over directed all the way up. And then you're probably like, well, I'm cutting into my perimeter. Because you're over directing this all the way up 90 degrees, it'll create a layer instead of cutting into your exterior. Okay?
Okay, y'all, so this is week 5. Week 5 was very fast paced. We've learned a whole lot, a lot of cutting. I'm definitely going to show y'all some balayaging towards the end. But as you can see, she wanted us to go ahead and start on our 90-degree cuts. And as you can see, I took that guideline that I created in the center, and you want to split it in half, and then you want to work from side to side. So first I probably started on the right side, then I started on the left, and you're going to pretty much just bring it straight up in the air like a 90-degree angle, and you're going to cut where you had that guideline to make those layers. So yeah, just keep watching the rest of the video. I'm going to keep like pausing and showing you all how my instructor taught me to do the cut throughout the hair. So I hope this helps you guys. And yeah, we're going to get back to it.
And then you're going to take a vertical section off of this division line, so it kind of looks like this. And then you're only going to cut everything that you can fit in your hand. So anything that falls out, that's going to be a part of your perimeter back here, so you don't have to cut that. So anything that just is cut. This away, and then you're going to continue taking vertical sections off this division line until you get to here. So your next section should be this, and then the next one this, and then the next one this, and then this last one, you bring it all the way up. I'm going to cut another one so you can see it, and then you can cut the back.
Both sides?
Yes. Cool. Take it in half. Do the balayage.
Can you go down to the bottom?
Go down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Like cut down the bottom here.
Like, are we cutting all the way to the nape?
Nope, only from the crown. So from this division line to the crown. So anything that you can pick up is what you're gonna cut. So if it falls out of your hand, you're not cutting that.
So as y'all can see, we're moving to the back of the head. So how you create that guideline for the back of your head, you're going to take the guideline that you made earlier in the front of your head to kind of connect it and see where that layer that you created straight up in a 90-degree angle. You're going to always want to make sure that it's straight up. And y'all, this was kind of difficult for me because I'm not going to lie, I kind of over directed in a sense, but you have to make sure when you're in the mirror, it's a little better to be able to see how you can hold it straight up into that 90-degree angle. So you make sure that you're cutting it vertically up and down. And like she said, whatever falls out your hand, don't worry about it, let it fall. That's what the layer effect does. And I'm pretty much going to do the same thing like I did in the front, split it in half, take it section by section, and work around the back of the head. And I cut at the first knuckle, not the second, because you do not want to accidentally cut yourself. And as y'all can see in the video, it's like I'm doing it, and then sometimes I forget, but y'all keep watching. I want y'all to keep watching. And yeah, we're gonna get back to it.
So to support your graduation technique, you're going to be doing a palm to palm hand position. So I want you to use your black shears, the shorter ones. This is going to help so you don't cut too far in. You're going to take your triangular section that you created, palm. So instead of being overhand, you should see the inside of your palm. Your scissor fingers are going to be straight up to the ceiling, but we're going to do a 45-degree angle. So if it's easier for you, rest your knuckles against the neck. That way it's going to be shorter into longer. And then we're going to, my knuckles are resting against her, and then they're going to be at almost like a diagonal. And then you're going to cut in hand, so your palm should be facing your other palm. And recomb and reposition. Okay, and then when you comb it down, it looks longer down here. That's okay, as long as when you comb it out and you're looking at your graduation position, it's shorter into longer. So just cut your guide first.
All right, y'all, so we're going to do this triangular cut, and I sectioned it off into that triangular part. It kind of reminds me of like T-Boz, you know, back in the early 90s. I am a 90s baby, y'all, and it gives me that vibe. So we're definitely going to do this 45-degree graduation cut, and as you can see, you want your palm facing upward when you're doing this cut. And also I took my black shears because they're a little shorter so that I won't cut myself, you guys. And pretty much I am going to go in diagonal sections according to how I parted it off from the beginning. And like I'm going to work my way, like I said before, I'm going to work my way from side to side. Don't rush when you're doing y'all cutting, y'all. Take y'all time when you all cut. And I'm pretty much going to take that guide that I started off with, and y'all going to continue to match up those guidelines and cut it all the way through so it can lay in that graduation motion, and you're going to go all the way throughout your head. As you can see what I'm doing, and I'm just taking my time going section by section, making sure that my guideline matches up and it can lay into that triangular effect. So I want y'all to continue to watch what I do, and I hope this helps. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up, y'all guys. If y'all love this content, y'all like this video, y'all like what I'm showing y'all, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, share this video. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help y'all. I'm helping y'all. Share this video, you guys. So yeah, let's get back to it.
So taper just means it's kind of isolated. So the fade exists just in isolation by the sideburn area or the nape area, and the fade kind of goes all the way around. So I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna do a taper first. Okay. So we'll do 2 different haircuts on one person.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Do you want to get on the top?
No, that's fine.
All right. So here with the neck strip, it stretches. Just keeping it wide. Go over the front. Just keep it flat, tuck it, pinch the top, tuck it underneath, keep it as wide as possible, your cape, go over the front. Just be mindful not to touch the skin because you usually use a cape on multiple people, so you don't want to transfer anything. So then just button it up. If you do want to secure your neck strip so it doesn't come off, just fold it over the button and button it in. That way it doesn't escape. Otherwise it'll just get crazy. So no bow ties, none of that, because it doesn't really do anything if you like make it skin in the back. The cape is gonna touch the skin and then you just transfer it. All right, anybody have any questions on that? Pretty simple, self-explanatory. All right, so then kind of like with your shears, right? You always have your shears and your comb, same deal, right? These are just machines, but they have the same thing. Steel blade on the outside, cutting blade on the inside. The only difference is they move a lot faster. So some people zero gap them, which means the blade is more flush, so they're sharper, so you gotta use like less pressure. The more pressure you do push down on the skin with, you're gonna obviously irritate the skin, maybe cut them. So I am using cordless clippers. So if you notice, if I'm not cutting hair, my clipper automatically comes off. 2 reasons, because I got a battery, I want my battery to last. And the second is it's just metal on metal rubbing, so it's gonna keep getting hotter. So you don't wanna, if it gets hot enough, when you put it on the skin, it'll like, I've seen the skin like kind of separate, which is like you cutting them because it gets so hot. So just being mindful of the heat on the clipper. You do have a clipper side, you see that orange bottle. So if it does get warm or hot, you can just spray it down. It has a cooling agent, so it cools down your clipper. So just keeping your client as comfortable as possible. I have a neck strip and a brush, so with shorter fades. I prefer brushes just because you can knock all the hair off. Instead of like these finer teeth, it'll take some of the hair off, but it's a little harder to get all of the hair off, and then you're, again, scratching, irritating the skin. All right, so then again, these are my trimmers. These are for my detail work, any kind of outlining or anything of that sort. So with these, we're gonna kind of just outline his hairline. So you're sculpting the hairline. So you wanna keep it as natural as possible. You don't wanna like go too far up, because then when it grows in, it'll just look very weird and it won't come back to you. So again, cut off less and then like inch your way up and until you get to where you feel like it's good, instead of just knocking everything out, and there's no like recourse for that. So here, what I'm gonna do is, again, we're gonna taper. Oh, so that was my trimmers. These are my regular clippers. There's other different type of clippers. These are adjustable blade clippers. So they move between sizes. So here's like a longer length. If you look at the width of the blade here, where you at? Here. So it's a little wider, so then when I close it, it's a lot shorter. So this cuts more aggressively. So it knocks all the hair off. Again, clippers are kind of like scissors. So scissor over comb and clipper over comb are very similar things. If you don't want to be as aggressive with clipper over comb, then obviously open it and it'll push you back off the comb, so then it'll give you a little wiggle room. But if you're like right on, all the way closed, whatever hangs off over the comb will be cut off. Cool, everything makes sense? All right, and then there's other types of blades, other types of clippers, which are detachable blade clippers. They're more for, you can use those on wet and dry hair cutting, but they're more for like bowl cutting and just like heavy duty stuff. I don't have those on me today, but there are different kinds of clippers. So this one, it's pretty small, pretty powerful. This one has a magnetic motor. This one's the same brand. These are Stylecraft Gammas, but these are a lot quieter. So like for like if you have autistic kids or like kids that don't like a lot of noise, I would prefer just quieter clippers. And these again, just depending on what you're comfortable with, as long as it fits good in your hand, you just kind of if you want to play with my clippers, you can go ahead and just try them out. But just whatever feels comfortable in your hand is what I recommend. Yes, ma'am. Oh, hey, okay. All right, so then, again, we're gonna start by outlining. So the reason I'm outlining first is I'm putting the hard line in, so as I'm fading, I can see what's happening. So if I fade first and then I put an outline after, then there's a chance there's gonna be like little tiny defects, and I would have to go back and clean up. So then it kind of saves me a step. So I usually like to outline first, I'm doing the taper. So here, I'm just again going around. And then I'm gonna use a brush again to brush all my hair off. So here I'm gonna start in the front of the ear, work to the top. So on the side of this trimmer, there's like a little fat tooth. So you can use that, you can rest that on the skin. And it's kind of like a pencil, so I'm just kind of carving it in. So here,
Thank you.
in the corner. And if you notice, I'm not really using my wrist, I'm controlling my tool with my fingers. Okay. So little by little, some of this hair starts growing back. So instead of pushing the hair back, going in the same direction it's growing, it's always advisable just to cut it against the growth of the hair. So then I'm gonna use the opposite corner and go the opposite way. So once I get my line in, then I can go in. Again, the area around the ear is very sensitive, so you don't want to put a lot of pressure. So then I'm gonna go behind the ear. So here I was in front of the ear, I move the ear back. Above the ear, I'm gonna move the ear down, and behind the ear, I'm gonna move the ear forward. So I do that just because I cut somebody accidentally. I was doing scissor over comb, I wasn't paying attention. So now, because I was kind of semi-traumatized, I make sure I always move the ear out the way because I did cut a chunk off. So here again, from the center back of the ear, pretty much everything we do in hair cutting is connecting dots. So if you notice, I started here, worked my way up, started here, worked my way up. So just connecting dots. So then once I start to get close to that mesh with the clipper, and then just continue working my way down. So you see I'm keeping it as natural as possible. And you can see the difference between how it was in the beginning and how it is now. It's a little sharper, a little more refined. So then I'm gonna do the same thing. Whatever you do to one side, you do it to the opposite side. So here, this is my non-dominant side, so I'm just kind of like back-handing my clipper. So just kind of switching the position. So now I'm working away. Yeah, just the corner. So anything with like fading or anything like that, detail work, is gonna be corner. So you know, like this blade is wide, right? But it's very straight, and the head is round. So like if you put flat objects, you're gonna cut it into places you don't want to. So the less of the flatness you use, the more control you have. Okay. So this corner, to the top, and kind of going back, cleaning it up. Once I make my line, I'll come back clean underneath. Again, just making, just letting I'm just guiding the clipper pretty much, letting the clipper do all the work. And I'm just guiding it with my fingers here. And if you notice, I'm always stabilizing myself, so I'm not really free floating. I'm always kind of stabilizing myself on him. So if he does move, then that means I'm gonna move too. So that's especially good with like kids or clients that do move a lot. A lot of male clients kind of, they never let their guard down until like they get in a barber chair. They'll start nodding off or falling asleep. So while they're doing that, you can not cut something you don't want to. Right here. So then in the front, again, keeping everything real natural. I can put a point at the top of the temple here, and then I'm just gonna start from the bottom and connect to that point.
So are you outlining the whole head?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just doing my outline right now. So he has long hair hanging over. So these are hair grippers, which is just Velcro. So then it just holds hair easier than a clip. So it just holds it out the way. So even if you're doing your makeup or whatever, you can. Usually you'll have a mirror, but you can just make sure it's nice and balanced. So I'm gonna go to that temple area. And then I'm gonna touch it, connect, just the corners. And again, I'm kind of pivoting off my middle finger here. And again, just using the corner. Alright. So from here, just depending on what kind of taper they want, like low, medium, high taper. So usually low tapers are kind of like horizontal, and then medium is more aiming towards the temple area, so more diagonal back. And then a high taper will be just closer to the top hairline. So just depending on what the client wants. I know he does like a medium fade, so we can kind of do like right in between the low and the medium, and that way we won't mess up his fade when we get to it. So here I'm just clearing all that out, making my line, coming back, cleaning on the hair underneath. So if you wanted it to be bald, you want it bald, right? Yeah. You don't mind? Okay. So these, because y'all can't use like straight razor blades or whatnot. So you could use this and it'll bald them out completely. It'll leave them like baby smooth. So here, the main thing with these is just two little things with holes in it. So in order for the hair to go in there, you have to knock it down to this size, which is pretty much double, in order for it to fit in the hole. Otherwise, the hair is gonna be too long and you're not gonna be cutting anything. Alright, so you can also use this for like shaving arms or whatever. So here. So I'm also using these, even though it's wide, I'm still using portions of this. So I'm still using it like a clipper. And as I'm approaching that line, I'm gonna use less pressure and come off, look away. And I am always kind of listening to my clipper to hear where if I'm cutting hair or not. Again, you can establish your perimeter depending on the density of the hair. So you can see where the density is thinner and go above it. And that'll prevent you from having to individually fade like erratic growth patterns. Or if you like need a visual estimate of where to begin, you can line up your comb with the bottom of the earlobe and just drop it. And it'll give you like a rough estimate where to establish your perimeter. So let's say right there is fine. So I'm gonna start in the middle, work my way out. Again, notice not a lot of pressure, then the clipper do all the work. So here I'm focused on my line. Also look at the angle of my clipper. So if I'm here, that means my bottom blade is gonna rub up against the skin. So I don't want to hurt him, right? So I'm angling my clipper up. So wherever that still blade is, that's where my line's gonna be. Make sense?
With our shears.
You cut off?
How short? Like this short. Like I still want it pretty long. You could do either or.
Open or close? Do it again. I see your hand.
So it's okay if it's open or closed. Yesterday for our triangular graduation, so we're going to be palm to palm. It's going to be shorter into longer. It's going to be a gradient effect. you're palm to palm, right? Your fingers are up. You should see the inside of your hand. And then when you're cutting in, you should see this palm meeting this one. You're cutting to your second knuckle. Otherwise, you're going to cut yourself.
So pretty much right here, we are doing the same thing, kind of like we did that triangular graduation in the back. We're just kind of making it shorter in the front and doing the same thing, y'all. We're just kind of cutting it down because we are going to, what we had learned the other day as far as taper, fading, and going ahead and texturizing, which you'll see later on in this video. I am just kind of cutting it down, just making sure that when it's time for me to taper, I can kind of see what I'm doing, but as you can see, I'm still taking that guideline. I'm cutting at an angle and narrowing it down. And yeah, y'all just continue to watch the video. And yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all some more stuff too when y'all see. Y'all gonna see my mannequin hair, y'all. It came out crazy, but y'all gonna see it.
So I'll take it like as a layer and I'll kind of like go in, but you're always keeping your thumb moving. Because otherwise if I took this and I did it like just straight on, you'll create a step like this. So it kind of looks like it's too harsh sometimes. So if you guys want, you can start texturizing her, and then if you want to try finger waving her on short hair, you can try it on her since she's shorter.
So right now, as you can see, I'm taking those scissors kind of with like those little razor type teeth in between, and I am going to begin to texturize. When you are texturizing a cut, it creates volume, the fluffiness, the kind of softness that you would like. And yeah, y'all, this is how it looked after I had texturized the front part. It's a little longer of the layers that I had cut, and yeah, that's just how you texturize.
The spine of the comb is going to be resting against this head, and you're going to establish your own guide. So I'm going to take this right here. And now that my guide is here, I'm just going to keep floating up the head, and I want to keep a graduated technique so that everything is nice and gradient. And I started working around areas around this hairline here and the ear. I'm going to start taking vertical sections or a vertical comb technique so that I can still see my shortest hair, but it's still a graduation. So I want you to do quicker comb over the entire segments 1 and 2 and just shorten the hair, but I still want to see a graduation. So I still want to see it short into long. And then like Will said, you're really just connecting dots.
So now, as you can see, I have my clippers and my comb once again, and pretty much we are going to gradually go up the head and just kind of connect the points, kind of like what we learned when we were tapering, but this is just, we're just narrowing it on down. You guys, I am practicing, so please do not judge me, because I know I'm probably not doing it the best. I tried my very, very best, but I know I'm gonna have to continue to work on it. Like, practice makes perfect, you guys, so please do not judge me. But I'm just kind of going around connecting the hair together so that I am able to do my taper. But I'm definitely going to use my trimmers to do the taper in the back, which you would see in a few minutes. Well, not even minutes, in a couple of seconds. I'm just taking those shears. I'm kind of just evening it up, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I probably cut some patches up in there. And as you can see, it looks like this. So yeah, it looks a little, a little janky. Then I just went ahead and, as y'all can see, I'm just taking those clippers and just going around. I'm just doing whatever, for real, for real. I'm not even gonna take no story. Then I'm gonna take those trimmers and then I'm gonna go in the back and try to taper it on up, try to connect those points. As you can see, got little patches here and there, but it's okay, y'all. It's all, you're growing as you go. And like I said, don't judge me. I did the very best I could. Y'all gonna see at the end how my little fade, high fade, mid fade came out. But like I said, I'm still working on it. So yeah, y'all just keep watching.
I don't want a super harsh line, but because she's a mannequin, I just want this nice and bright. So I'm going to do a slice, and I'm going to do a slice behind it because my dimension in the front, my hairline, will kind of cover this, and it'll look a little bit more blended. So I'm going to do one slice, one vertical slice off of her hairline. Usually when clients are like, you're doing their money piece, you just have to have them turn their head, but with a mannequin, you can just kind of shift her everywhere. You can tail flap if that's like something that you're comfy with. This is how I foil. It's just, I like to get really nice and close. You can also just lay your foil against the head too, because the foil will help wrap around someone's head shape. I'm going to apply to the mid shaft first. No, I sliced it. Then I'm going to fold this hair in. Whenever I'm working around the hairline, I like to use a lower volume developer just because it's the weakest part of the hair has less density. But she's a mannequin, so we're using 30. And then when I fold my foils, I don't fold them like the Paul Mitchell way. I just do it a tri-fold. I'll do one fold halfway. Just so if I have to check in on my foils, I don't have to unwrap them so many times and I'm not like moving them around. And then I'm going to meet the bottom to the top here. And then I just like to do a little book like flap. Or you can fold one side over. You can kind of do it that way too. So I'm going to do 2 vertical slices on this panel. And then I'm going to do 2 horizontal or vertical slices on this panel. So I want you to do that on your doll head.
Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, this was like one of my favorite parts because I really wanted to learn how to balayage, and we definitely did a money piece at the beginning. So as she said before, we started off on the side vertically and kind of sliced it, and I'm pretty much gonna do that. And then as you will see in the rest of the video, she's gonna show you how to tease and also to do how you section it off in the back to do those balayage pieces. And I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm just gonna continue to let y'all watch. My doll head came out fire. I'm gonna show y'all the picture at the very end. But this right here is the last of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you want to join cosmetology school, go ahead. This is night school for me at Paul Mitchell in Houston, and I'm definitely learning a lot. I'm growing every single day. Like I said, this is week 5. I've been on the floor for a minute, and I just wanted to kind of catch y'all up because I was supposed to been did this, but I had a lot going on. But yes, thank you for watching the video, trendsetters. I love you, and I will come to you with the last week of core, week 6. I'm going to definitely drop it soon, so y'all just stay tuned for the rest of my videos. Love you. Talk to you soon.
The most amount of diffusion. If you do a diagonal parting, this will give you the most amount of fusion. With balayages, you can also take bigger sections. So I'm going to take this entire section. I went diagonal and I did a zigzag parting. So I'm going to do that again. And this is about like an inch. So this was the size of my comb. want the most amount of diffusion. When you're doing a teasy light, I'm still gonna split this. You can either tease 25%, which is gonna be right here, which is gonna be closer to the base or closer to the scalp. This is gonna give you the most amount of brightness. You can tease 50%, and this is gonna give you equal amounts of brightness and dimension, so you'll have both light and dark. And then you can tease 75%. This is gonna give you the most amount of depth. So it's up to you and up to your client and what they prefer. For today, you guys can tease however you wanna see it. If you wanna see more brightness, do 25%. If you wanna see an equal amount of balance, do 50. And then if you want more depth, then you're gonna do 75. When I'm teasing, I'm also gonna over direct. So over directing with coloring is kind of gonna be similar to over directing with cutting. So when I'm over directing, this is gonna help with blending all of this color out. So I'm gonna do that again. So I'm gonna take my section, I did a zigzag pattern. I'm gonna do an equal amount of brightness, but I'm gonna over direct towards the face. So if I over direct and tease 50% here, most of my teasing is gonna be at this back end here. So when I pull it forward here, my blondness will, or my brightness will kind of transition and be a gradient from here, from my money piece over this way naturally because of over direction, okay? So I'm still gonna apply with a foil. I'm gonna start a little bit lower so I don't have to worry too much about getting it on the scalp. You can put a clip here. People love putting clips here for their teasies. Just to avoid all of that tease when you're applying lightener, I'm gonna use my hands as a platform and I'm gonna apply this like glue first. Applying just to the mid shaft. And then I wanna see like snowy mountains when you're applying, like you shouldn't see any hair in your foil. It should be nice and saturated. And your section sizes should still be like 1/8 of an inch in your foil. When you're applying lightener, you always want to work with the cuticle. If you start working against it, you're removing product and then you're also kind of like roughing up the hair and you're making your life a little bit harder than it needs to be. Once I start getting up closer to the base, I still need to feather this in. So you can either feather away, but like I said before, if you start feathering against the cuticle, this starts to remove product, so you have to go back in and reapply. Or you can do it with your brush at an angle. You can kind of go a little bit heavy-handed when you're teasing, just because that tease is going to help protect you, but I also don't want to rely on it, so I still have to feather this up. And then I'm going to do a trifold because I don't want this lightener to transfer onto my hair up there. And I'm going to fold it like a suitcase. And then I want you guys to complete this section with just some teasy lights. Because I want a nice blend. You don't have to tease with clay lightener. It'll help with your blend though. So I just will show you without blending or without teasing. I'm going to pinch here and I'm going to apply my clay lightener to the mid shaft first. And again, this is like surface painting, so you want to work with the cuticle. With balayages, you could also paint underneath if that's the look that you're going for. But my client, she just wants a lived-in color. She just wants a little bit of lightness. So I'm only going to surface paint on the top. Once I feel like I have a love her and leave her alone. I'm not gonna touch it.
Elena, did you speak in her?
Yep. I'm gonna do this section again so you can see it. I'm gonna split here. And then the reason that I had you do two brushes is so that you can clean up your next top and still feather in if you wanted to. So again, I'm gonna surface paint here. I'm gonna pinch, working with the cuticle. If you start working against it, it's gonna get mad at you.
If you're going against it, it's going up.
Right. It wouldn't be bad. It would just be kind of making it a little bit harder. You can make V's or W's, so you get those high ribbons, high contrast colors.
So is it going to be like inward, pointing down, making these, or is it going to be like upward?
Down. And then you can use your clean brush and kind of feather this in here so that you kind of get rid of those lines. Once I have my V section here, I'm going to take a horizontal section all the way across to connect these two. You would have a towel with you, but. So now that I have these two in the back, I'm going to take a pretty big section here, and then I'm going to connect my V's horizontally.
Calling me out like the first day. This ain't no first aid. Yeah, you making me new today. Brand new, straight from the fountain of wealth. I put my gift in your hand. Take me from rags to riches in the best way. Ooh, you wait for me. And in the season, you wait for me. Took me from rags to riches, took me from rags to riches. Oh yeah, and I love that for me. I love it, I do. Took me from rags to riches. Yeah, took me from rags to riches. Love it for me. Yeah, I love it, I do. Took me from rags to riches, took me from rags to riches. Oh yeah, and I love it for me. I love it, I do. Took me from rags to riches. Took me from rags to riches. I love it for me. Yeah, I love it for me. Yeah, you always spending time with me. Bet you nothing and a dime on it. Bought me at a price I can't afford. Taking me to places I ain't explored yet. Heavenly places. No GPS or escaping. No escaping. Yeah, you had everything. Gave it all away. Gave me everything. Drip on the cost. Gave us only son. Didn't take a loss. You did it for me. Glory only fully clothed. Yeah. No, the sun is still unclothed. Yeah. Took me from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Yeah. You wait for me. And you know, see, you wait for me. don't stand a chance, they can never come be. I know that I'm covered, you're always with me. 'Cause my God is real. Lord, I know they wanna see us down, but we ain't going out like that. 'Cause my God is real. Not a day goes by where I don't thank you. Always stay down and you always stay true. I don't know what I would do without you. You by my side, I can't lose. They don't stand a chance, they can never come be. I know that I'm covered, you're always with me. 'Cause my God is real. Lord, I know they wanna see us down, but we ain't going out like that. 'Cause my God is real. It's like you come in perfect time, and even through the shade you keep me shining. Off track till you passed out in the line. 2+2 stress, so I've been grinding. Not a day goes by where I don't thank you. Always stay down and you always stay true. I don't know what I would do without you. You by my side, I can't lose. They don't stand a chance, they can never come be.